Hello, my name is Jess, and today we're going to make the second project in my book called A Field Guide to Making Bags, which is the fold-over crossbody bag. This is part 2 of our 5-part video series, which covers each of the patterns in my book, along with essential bag making techniques for all levels of sewists. Welcome to the Sallie Tomato YouTube channel. If you like making useful and stylish projects, our YouTube channel is the place to be to create confidently. Be sure to tap that notification and subscribe button so you never miss out on future videos. Today's project is beginner friendly and so much fun to customize with contrasting accents, and it's a convenient size for all ages and events. With this project, you will build skills in fabric preparation, learn how to add a contrasting strap closure, add an interior slip pocket, easily install a zipper, make an adjustable strap, and make a fun accessory tassel. This crossbody has plenty of space inside to store essentials when on the go, or remove the adjustable strap and carry it as a clutch for a date night out. The finished size is 10 inches wide by 7 inches tall. Before we get started, be sure to purchase my book, A Field Guide to Making Bags. You can find the book on our website or at your local fabric shop. Check out the description below for a direct link. All of the supplies you need are listed in the book. When selecting fabrics, we recommend woven fabrics for the main fabric and non-woven fabric such as cork or faux leather for the contrasting accents. To get started, select the materials and fabrics that you would like to use for your fold-over crossbody bag. You can reference the materials and supply list in my book on page 110, and then follow along with the cutting instructions in the book. I highly recommend using a cutting mat, rotary cutter, and ruler to accurately cut your pieces. And if you're new to using those tools, we do have a video tutorial linked in the description to guide you through cutting your fabrics for the first time. And once you have all of your fabrics cut out, we are ready to begin sewing. I am so excited that you're here for this journey. Feel free to pause the video so you can sew along with me and take the project step by step. So let's get started with the tutorial. First, let's begin by reviewing each of the fabrics needed for this project. The main fabric will be used for the front and back panels as well as the strap connectors. The contrast fabric will be used for the various strap connectors, closures, adjustable strap, tabs, and optional tassel. The lining fabric will be used for the interior front and back panels as well as the interior slip pocket. Just like in the first video in this series, while making the quilted pouches, I chose to use Turtle Tex for the lining fabric. This material is a coated cotton that's water resistant, and we've designed it exclusively for bag linings. It comes in a few neutral colors with a subtle texture, so it coordinates with several fabrics. And the light colored print makes it easy to see what's inside your bag. For this project, you'll also need some sew-in fleece batting for the front and back panels. This will add a little bit of extra stability to the main fabric pieces. You'll also need a single slide zipper that measures 9.5 inches long. I'll need to trim mine to the required length for this project. I'm using Sallie Tomato zipper by the yard. Our zippers have a nylon coil with a metallic finish, so they're easy to cut and sew over, and they have that professional look to coordinate with the hardware. And like I mentioned, one of the benefits is being able to cut the length that I need for my project, so I'll have additional length of zipper that I can save for a future project. This project requires 3 1-inch D-rings, 3 1-inch swivel hooks, and 1 1-inch slider buckle. Next, let's get started by preparing the main panels. Start by positioning the pieces of fleece on the wrong side of each main fabric piece for the front and the back. Make sure to align all of the edges and use sewing clips to hold the layers together. If you prefer, you could certainly use a temporary adhesive spray. Next, over at the machine, baste an 1/8 inch from the edges of the fleece. Now is the time to add any optional quilting to the front and back panels to further secure the fleece and also add some fun detail. I recommend using a longer stitch length for any quilting to enhance the stitch. Since this is a small project, it's a great opportunity to experiment with free motion quilting, in the hoop embroidery quilting, or even practicing geometric patterns. Next, we'll create the lower strap closure. Find the contrast fabric for the lower strap closure and one D-ring. Thread the fabric end through a D-ring and fold the end under 1/2 inch, encasing the flat side of the D-ring, and hold it in place with a sewing clip. With the right side of the fabric facing up, center the lower strap closure along the bottom edge of the main fabric front panel, with the D-ring towards the top. As you can see, I'm using our faux fur fabric, which has a nap to it. If you're using a fabric that has a nap, make sure that the nap is positioned how you want it, so the nap runs from the top to the bottom. If you'd like, you can adhere a piece of basting tape to the wrong side of the strap closure to help hold it in place while you're sewing. Otherwise, you could also try using washi tape, which can be stitched through while sewing to help temporarily hold the strap closure in place. I recommend using a Teflon zipper foot or a narrow foot to top stitch along the hardware first, and then pivot to sew an 1/8 inch from the remaining edges. Make sure to backstitch. For the upper strap closure, thread one end of the piece through a swivel hook. Fold the end under 1/2 inch and hold it in place with a sewing clip. Again, you can adhere basting tape along the length of the upper strap closure on the wrong side. With right sides up, center the upper strap closure along the bottom edge of the main fabric back panel with the swivel hook toward the top. I'm going to use washi tape to hold this strap closure in place. Keep in mind that the top edge with the swivel hook will be the edge of the flap that folds to the front. So if you are using a fabric with a nap, keep in mind which direction you want the nap to go. Then over at the machine, top stitch along the hardware, then pivot to sew an 1/8 inch from the remaining edges. Make sure to backstitch. After top stitching, the washi tape can be gently torn away. Next, we'll make and attach the strap connectors. With the wrong sides together, fold the short edges of the strap connector pieces to the center. Then top stitch a 1/4 inch from each of the long edges of each strap connector. Slide a D-ring over the end of each strap connector and fold the strap connector in half, aligning the raw ends to encase the flat side of the D-ring at the inner folded edge. Use a sewing clip to hold the layers together. On the right side of the main fabric front panel, measure and mark down from the top edge according to the pattern. Then position a strap connector below each mark. Make sure the D-rings are toward the center and align the raw edges. Then use a zipper foot or narrow foot to baste each of the strap connectors in place, stitching a 1/4 inch from the raw edges. Then set the prepared main panel aside. Next, we'll attach the tabs to the zipper. For instructions on how to attach the tabs to the zipper, refer to the quilted pouches tutorial and pattern. In the book, the instructions are located on page 105. The next step is to create the interior slip pocket. For instructions on how to make and attach an interior slip pocket, we've added a link to our video tutorial that you can follow along with those same steps referring to the measurements in the pattern for the fold-over crossbody bag. After preparing your slip pocket, you'll want to center the bottom edge of the pocket according to the pattern and top stitch the sides and bottom edge in place against one lining back panel using 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. If you're following along with the Making Bags book, refer to the Essential Pockets section on page 89 for the slip pocket instructions. Now you're ready to assemble the fold-over crossbody bag. For instructions on the final assembly, follow along with the exact steps of assembling the quilted pouches. We've added a link to the previous video in this series so you can refer back to the instructions. Otherwise, you can follow along with the book on page 106. One tip is that you'll want to make sure that the swivel hook and the D-ring are toward the zipper, but make sure they stay away from the seam allowance while sewing. Also, the interior slip pocket opening should be toward the zipper as well. Then, with right sides together, align all the edges of both main fabric panels, and the same for both lining fabric panels. Use lots of sewing clips to hold the layers together. Make sure your machine is set for a 2.5mm stitch length for piecing, and start by sewing the lining panels together with a 3/8 inch seam allowance, making sure to leave about 3 to 4 inches unsewn along the bottom edge. Then sew the main panels together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. After sewing, trim the lining seam allowance to a 1/4 inch wide, and turn the bag right side out by pushing the main fabric and lining through the open section of the lining bottom. You'll want to gently push out the corners and edges to shape the bag. I'm using a Sallie Tomato essential turning and creasing tool to help smooth out the corners. And lastly, you'll want to either hand sew or top stitch the opening in the lining closed, making sure those raw edges are tucked inside and the folded edge is even. Then you can smooth the lining down into the exterior. Next, you'll create the adjustable strap. Our adjustable strap instructions coordinate with several Sallie Tomato patterns. You may already be familiar with the techniques, so I am not going to demonstrate how to create the adjustable strap in this video. However, we've already created an awesome video tutorial that you can reference time and time again for how to create an adjustable strap using faux leather fabric or cork. We've added a link in the description to the adjustable strap video tutorial. Otherwise, if you're following along with the book, refer to the straps and handles section on page 92 for the adjustable strap instructions. And the final section of this project is to make and attach the optional tassel. This section is completely optional and you may already be familiar with how to make a tassel. Feel free to use your favorite method to create a tassel. Otherwise, we've added a link in the description for our tassel tutorial. My tip for this section is to thread the connector through the strap connector D-ring instead of the zipper pull for this project. That way the tassel doesn't get in the way of the strap closure hardware. If you're following along with the book, refer to the previous project, the quilted pouches, on page 107 for the instructions on how to make and attach the optional tassel. Amazing job today. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make this project and enjoy your brand new fold-over crossbody bag. We would love to see your finished project. Please share and show off your photos using the hashtag Sallie Tomato on social media so we can see how you're styling your brand new bag. And if you liked this video, be sure to follow along with the rest of the tutorials in our A Field Guide to Making Bags series, where we'll continue to expand upon your bag making skills. Also, we would love it if you would give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to helping you create confidently.